What if I told you that hidden between the United States and Canada lies a freshwater world so vast it can be seen from space? A place where thousands of shipwrecks rest beneath crystal-clear waters. Where towering cliffs rise hundreds of feet above the shoreline. Where mysterious islands, ancient forests, and colorful rock formations create landscapes unlike anywhere else on Earth. Most people have heard of the Great Lakes, but very few have discovered their greatest hidden gems. Today, we're going to change that. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Forgotten Gems USA. Here, we uncover America's most breathtaking hidden destinations, forgotten history, and extraordinary places that deserve to be explored. If you enjoy discovering places beyond the ordinary, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our next adventure. In today's journey, we'll explore the incredible Great Lakes, home to the largest freshwater system on Earth. From the rugged cliffs of Lake Superior and the turquoise waters of the Grotto to the peaceful islands of Georgian Bay, the historic shores of Lake Ontario, and some of North America's most spectacular national parks, every stop has a fascinating story waiting to be told. Along the way, you'll discover ancient geological wonders, hidden natural treasures, remarkable engineering achievements, and breathtaking landscapes that millions of travelers overlook every year. So sit back, relax, and join us as we uncover the unforgettable beauty, history, and hidden gems of the Great Lakes. Let's begin our adventure. Lake Huron. Among the 5 Great Lakes, Lake Huron often receives the least attention. Sitting quietly between Lake Superior and Lake Erie, it is frequently overshadowed by its larger or more famous neighbors. Yet Lake Huron holds a record that none of the others can match. It contains more islands than all of the other Great Lakes combined, nearly 30,000 of them. These islands are scattered along an extraordinary shoreline stretching almost 3,800 miles, the longest shoreline of any Great Lake. The first Europeans to reach these waters were French explorers in 1615. Traveling through Georgian Bay by canoe, they named the lake after the Huron people who had lived along its shores for generations. Although they appear as 2 separate lakes on a map, Lake Huron and Lake Michigan are actually one continuous body of water. They are connected by the Straits of Mackinac, where both lakes share the exact same water level. As a result, their water levels rise and fall together as one massive freshwater system. Crossing these narrow straits is the iconic Mackinac Bridge, a 5-mile suspension bridge that connects Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas while spanning one of the deepest channels in the Great Lakes. Along Lake Huron's northern shoreline lies one of its most peaceful treasures, the North Channel. Stretching across nearly 12 miles, 36 small islands create a maze of calm bays and narrow waterways. French explorers called this region the Channels, a name that remains today. Sheltered by the surrounding islands, these waters stay remarkably calm, making them ideal for kayaking, canoeing, and small boats even when the open lake is rough. Farther east, on the Canadian side of Lake Huron, sits Manitoulin Island, the largest freshwater island in the world. Covering more than 1,000 square miles, the island contains an astonishing 108 lakes within its own boundaries, creating one of the most fascinating geographical formations anywhere on Earth. Winter transforms Lake Huron into an entirely different landscape. As temperatures fluctuate, vast sheets of ice form across the surface before breaking apart into enormous floating plates. Winds and currents push these frozen masses together, creating dramatic ridges as the ice grinds against itself. Along the shoreline, ancient rocks shaped by glaciers over thousands of years emerge beneath some of the clearest freshwater on the planet. On calm days, the water becomes so transparent that the rocky bottom is visible from high above the surface. Before we continue to our next destination, here's a question for you. Which U.S. state is not bordered by Lake Ontario? Leave your answer in the comments, and let's continue our journey through the incredible Great Lakes. Killarney Provincial Park. Our next destination takes us to one of Ontario's most breathtaking wilderness areas, Killarney Provincial Park. At first glance, it's not the height of the mountains that captures your attention. It's their incredible color. The brilliant white ridges of the La Cloche Mountains stand in striking contrast against the deep green forests and crystal clear lakes, creating a landscape unlike anywhere else in Canada. These mountains are formed from quartzite, a rock that is more than 2 billion years old. Long before the Rocky Mountains existed, these ancient peaks dominated the landscape. Over countless ages, glaciers and erosions slowly reshaped them into the smooth, gleaming ridges we see today. Because quartzite contains very few nutrients, very little sediment washes into the surrounding lakes. As a result, the water remains exceptionally clear, offering breathtaking reflections of the mountains and forests that surround it. Located along the northern shore of Georgian Bay, Killarney Provincial Park protects over 645 square kilometers of pristine wilderness. Its rugged coastline, dense forests, sparkling lakes, and ancient rock formations make it one of Ontario's most spectacular natural destinations. More than 50 beautiful lakes are scattered throughout the park, surrounded by towering jack pines, graceful white birch, and the exposed granite of the Canadian Shield. But Killarney is more than just a beautiful landscape. It also played a remarkable role in Canadian art history. In the early 1900s, famous Canadian artists, including A.Y. Jackson and Franklin Carmichael, were drawn to this extraordinary scenery. The dramatic contrast between white mountains, emerald forests, and deep blue lakes inspired some of the most iconic landscape paintings in Canadian history. As industrial development expanded across Ontario, this wilderness faced a serious threat. In 1932, A.Y. Jackson learned that logging operations were planned for the area. Determined to preserve its natural beauty, he appealed directly to the provincial government, urging them to protect the land before it was lost forever. His campaign succeeded. The following year, the government granted protection to the region, ensuring that its forests, mountains, and lakes would remain untouched for future generations. Although Killarney Provincial Park was officially established in 1964, conservation organizations carefully protected the area during the years leading up to its creation. Today, 2 lakes within the park bear the names of Jackson and Carmichael, honoring the artists whose passion helped preserve this remarkable wilderness. Even now, visitors standing on the park's hiking trails see the very same landscapes that inspired those painters more than a century ago. The dazzling white quartzite ridges, the endless evergreen forests, the crystal clear lakes reflecting the open sky. From above, the contrast between bright white rock, deep green forest, and brilliant blue water is so dramatic that it almost feels unreal. Killarney Provincial Park remains one of Canada's greatest natural masterpieces, a place where ancient geology, untouched wilderness, and artistic history come together in perfect harmony. Bruce Peninsula National Park. Our journey now brings us to one of Canada's most spectacular natural wonders, Bruce Peninsula National Park. More than 400 million years ago, this entire region lay beneath a warm tropical sea. The towering limestone cliffs that define the peninsula today were once ancient coral reefs, formed over millions of years beneath shallow ocean waters. As time passed, glaciers, powerful waves, and changing climates slowly transformed those reefs into the dramatic landscape we see today. Running along the spine of the peninsula is the Niagara Escarpment, one of North America's most significant geological formations. At its northern tip, the escarpment drops dramatically into the crystal-clear waters of Georgian Bay, where centuries of wave erosion have carved caves, cliffs, and hidden coves into the shoreline. One of the park's most famous natural attractions is the grotto. This breathtaking sea cave is known for its brilliant turquoise waters, created when sunlight passes through an underwater opening beneath the limestone rock. The result is a glowing natural pool that looks almost unreal. On calm days, the water becomes so incredibly clear that the rocky bottom remains visible even at surprising depths, giving visitors an unforgettable view beneath the surface. But Bruce Peninsula National Park offers much more than its famous sea cave. Within its boundaries lies the largest continuous stretch of forest remaining in southern Ontario. Towering cedar trees cling to the limestone cliffs, with some growing directly from narrow cracks in the rock. Many of these ancient trees have survived for centuries, adapting to one of the harshest growing environments in the region. The park is also one of Ontario's richest habitats for wild orchids. More than 30 species bloom throughout the peninsula, thriving in the thin soil that collects between the limestone outcrops. Their delicate flowers add unexpected color to the rugged landscape each spring and summer. As autumn arrives, the scenery transforms once again. The forest canopy bursts into brilliant shades of orange, red, and gold, creating a stunning contrast against the white limestone cliffs and the deep blue waters of Georgian Bay. It is a breathtaking display that has unfolded naturally for thousands of years. Throughout the day, changing sunlight continually reshapes the appearance of the cliffs, caves, and shoreline. Every shift in light reveals new textures, colors, and reflections, making the same stretch of coastline look completely different from sunrise to sunset. That ever-changing beauty is one of the reasons visitors return here year after year. Bruce Peninsula National Park is more than just a destination. It is a place where ancient oceans, powerful glaciers, and millions of years of natural history have combined to create one of the most extraordinary landscapes in North America. As our first chapter comes to an end, one thing becomes clear. The Great Lakes are far more than vast bodies of water. They are home to ancient landscapes, remarkable history, and hidden wonders waiting to be discovered. But our journey is far from over. In the next chapter, we'll venture even deeper into the Great Lakes, uncovering places that seem almost too beautiful to be real, from glowing turquoise waters and towering cliffs to legendary coastlines and breathtaking natural wonders. Until then, thank you for joining us on Forgotten Gems USA. If you enjoyed today's adventure, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of our journey. We'll see you in part 2.